replace millions of airbags that can explode and possibly shoot sharp pieces of metal into drivers and passengers. Federal regulators and manufacturers are pushing car owners to come in and exchange their airbags as soon as possible. This recall involves multiple automakers and nearly 8 million cars. But the problem here is getting the word out. Joining me now, the car coach, automotive industry analyst Lauren Fix. So Lauren, let's just begin with obviously what's happening is incredibly frightening, and the numbers, that how many people this affects is huge. But you say laws are being broken. How so?
Well, first off, when you take your car to the dealer, who is just taking direction from NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, they're saying if you don't have that airbag in stock, remember, these cars are as old as 2000. And some of these, like a Pontiac dealer, if you have a Montana, that they don't make that car anymore, they may, and these cars are specific to each brand, they may not have it in stock. So they're asking dealers to remove the airbag and put a sticker on the dash that says, no one should ride here. The fact is, removing an airbag is against federal law. The federal laws in the past have been very strict. If you were an auto modifier, if you like put in cool TV screens and big stereo systems and you removed an airbag, it's a federal offense. So they're actually asking dealers as a federal offense to remove the airbag and put nothing there. Now remember, safety, which is passive safety on these cars, is a seat belt, which we all should be wearing. Actually, the glass, the windshield, which is part 2 of the system, and 3 is the airbag. They actually all 3 work as a team. And when one part of that team isn't even there, and God forbid there's an accident, you're asking for some serious problems.
So that, I mean, then my next question, if we're talking about as many as potentially 8 million cars, how are these car companies even prepared to handle this influx of people needing replacements?
They're not, and that's the problem. This all came up. We've known about the Takata airbag problem for a while, and companies like Subaru and Chrysler have been very proactive in letting consumers know what's been going on and been trying to recall all along, as well as the other manufacturers have. But when they all come in at once, and NHTSA is deciding this huge groundswell of about 7.8 million cars, and globally 12 million, you're talking about a lot of people going to dealerships. Now, keep in mind that on average, only 70% of people actually get their vehicles repaired due to a recall, and it's even less dramatically in percentages when you're talking about older cars, because they're either destroyed, maybe they're on used car lots. They're not, obviously, when they get higher and higher mileage, they may not necessarily hear about this information. This is why it's important for you to tell people. I actually saw a car on the list. They've added some new vehicles to the list, and I told 2 people today, you know, you might want to call the dealer. But the dealers are not providing loaner cars. And this is very concerning. And that's why senators are now getting involved, saying you can't just take people's cars away, nor can you just take their airbags without giving them a loaner car. And honestly, that's going to be the only real true solution.
I know it's such an inconvenience, especially when you have multiple cars, but when you're talking about airbags and shooting shrapnel, this is not something to mess with. Go, go, go. We have all the cars, of course, for you. Just go to CNN.com to see if your car is included in this. Lauren Fix, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it. So important to get that out to people watching. Coming up.